quick trivia in the chat. So, super quick, I want someone to answer in the chat. How many phone jams do we have in total? So, whoever, let's see whoever does it first, but oh, there we go. Vanessa for the win. Awesome job, Vanessa. 4, yes. Next question. What time is Saturday Phone Jam? Go. The full time. When does it start? When does it end? 9 to 10:30. Oh, Vanessa, let's go. She ready. She stayed ready. That's why she always ready, right? Okay, last question, which could be funny. You guys could come up with some witty, funny answers. How did phone jams start? How did at least the virtual phone jam start? Or you could do regular phone jams, whatever. There's no right, wrong answer for this one. I just want to see some funny answers. How did the phone jams program start? It started with a dream. Wow. Okay, I like it. I like it. I think last couple divisions have said like it started with J Brad like in the 80s or something. It's just some funny witty answers. Awesome. So if it's cool with you, Jameson, can I record this section?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Here, let me go ahead. I'm going to give you co-host powers, so that should be able to
You
do that.
I
give it
have
to
it
Daniel
recorded
Mar.
this time. I have it recorded this time. I got it. We're on it. Cool.
Okay, cool. I'll make you a co-host as well, Day. There we go.
All right, all right.
And then I'm going to
Okay.
record too, if that's cool.
Yeah, absolutely. That works even better.
All right, great.
We have double recordings just in case, right, Dave?
Recording in progress.
All right, I'm gonna read the last line. Okay, for those who just hopped on, we just did a fun trivia question, and I asked, "How did Phone Jam start?" Joshua said it started with a dream, and then it started with hearing a rep sound atrocious on the phone. Facts. Just kidding, just kidding. All right, so actually, to paint the picture for y'all, it actually started very organically, and that's why this program is so special. It's not supposed to be a Marianne thing, but it's supposed to be a DM thing. So I work currently at a full-time corporate job, and during the pandemic, Ron asked me just to help for interviews. And I found out that we were not running phone jams. In fact, no one in the division was running phone jams. So we focused on that instead, and we did 3 virtual phone jams a week just for our office. Later on, we ended up running 1 division phone jam. J. Brad loved it so much, he turned it into a weekly division phone jam. And that was the year that we actually won Silver Cup. So it wasn't because, well, there was a lot of reasons why, but a big part of it was because of the culture the DMs created at phone jams, because all of the DMs showed up on the phone jams at least every week. And then the following year, this program became regional. So it first started with a question that I asked Ron, right? And this is the same question I asked to you guys. What or how can there be long-term productivity when there is no phone call culture in your office? That was the question that I asked Ron that kicked off this entire program. How can there be long-term productivity if no one in the office is doing a phone jam? So the answer to that is there can't be, right? And the interesting fact is 80 to 90% of the reps that show up to phone jams are fast starters. So the developed reps actually don't really show. So what does that mean? It means there's some type of retention problem. So the recruiting in the recruiting industry overall, it is really difficult. So not gonna lie, even with in my corporate work, the recruiters are just having such a hard time, and there's a lot of big losses. So whatever setbacks you might be having in your business is valid. But what I challenge you to think about is to alter your mentality and your strategy, because those two can defy all odds. And that's why we're here to talk to you about Project Angel Wings. I really want you to consider what you want your phone jam culture to be and what is it right now. And then take it a step further and decide the culture you want for your division. Because your leadership on this program will affect the entire region, actually. And the phone jam culture doesn't have to be the same for every office, but it just can't be non-existent. So I want to show you something really interesting. And I have co-host ability, right? So let me see if hopefully I can share my screen. Yep, I'm good. All right. So I'm gonna share my screen, and as I do that, there we go. Okay, so for those who just hopped on, welcome to our Phone Jam Project Angel Links talk. And I'm just gonna go over a couple of interesting stats for you guys first to show you where our Phone Jam program is and also where it could be and the possibilities you guys have with it. So first stat, in 2021, the Southland Division took a survey for a couple of reps, and this is including staff and branch manager candidates and all that. And we asked them, do you feel more encouraged or focused when you see your manager at phone jams? And 50% of them have said yes. And then another stat we have is we took I want to show you a comparison in demos created at the phone jams from last year versus this year in April. So if you noticed, last year in April, the average phone jams that were set, the average demos that were set during phone jams was around 20. And then this year in April, the average demos set in phone jams were also 20. So the problem here is that the stats are similar. And that's a problem just because it's already been a year, especially since now we're a region program, the number should be tripled. So this pretty much just shows that the program it's growing, but it's dying. Now, last month, in your division, this is more so especially if they registered and they showed to phone jams. So last month we had 5 people show from your division for all the phone jams in total for April, and then we had 7 demos set total for your division. Now, if you also notice, Southland led in rep attendance, which shows out that we also led in demo creation. If we look at the May 17th sales report, what pattern do you see? Right? Do you see like a pattern? So the person that led in the region phone jam that we just had was LA division. They had 12 reps at 24 demos. And look, that LA division was the #1 division in Western region. So there's a connection there. And basically, we all know that higher phone jam attendance is higher business. But also, there's a trickle-down effect when the top leaders show. Nod your heads if you guys know the law of lid. Does anyone know the law of lid? Maybe not? Okay, of course Jameson would know. That's why he's up at the top. But the law of lid is basically the simple concept as your company, your division can only grow wherever your leaders are. So if the leaders are here, anyone that's underneath them will be here and they'll pretty much stay there. But wherever the leaders go, the rest follows. So if the leaders raise their lid, everyone else raises their lid too. And that's the law of lid. So when the leaders show up and show out, when it comes to these phone jams, the rest follows. So I want to ask you guys in the chat, or you can unmute yourself too, what do you want to improve on in your specific office? All right, PPR, development, culture, all of the above. But just to zone in, what is something you guys want to improve on for yourself? You can unmute, or you can type in the chat. Sometimes it's easier. PPR, yep, absolutely. ROI, yes, I see you, Joshua. Rin, all of the above, awesome. So we all have goals and we all have things that we want to accomplish, right? So when it comes to our goals, we have to be aware of our setbacks. And one of the setbacks is not capitalizing on the Phone Jam program. Oh, there we go. Not capitalizing on the Phone Jam program. And what's really cool is that I just saw this breakdown of CPO from Drew Frank. on how much CPO he can generate each week through driving demos. So he created this formula where if 100 demos were set in your office and 70 of them were actually completed, from there you get 40 sales with a $250 average order. That's 10,000 CPO. So what that means is basically 100 set is 100 demos. So if you get one rep at a phone jam and that rep scheduled 6 demos, right? You want to times it by 3. So they scheduled 6 demos and actually did 3 and got 3 sales. Then that's 2,100 CPO for the week. And if you go a little bit higher, when you get 15 reps for phone jam, those reps do 45 demos. They'll get 4,500 CPO, and then that's 31,000 CPO for the week. All right, so numbers always can tell a story. So now we want to talk about what sets us back and some potential solutions that we've come up with. And Dave's going to take over this part and share a couple of really interesting and cool stories too.
Awesome. Thank you very much for that, Marianne. So yeah, as DMs, we've noticed that there have been a couple problems for why DMs don't show up, and I feel that DMs need to show up in order to help build this phone jam culture, revamp it in the virtual world, the same way that we had it in person. Now, many DMs will have many reasons why they don't show up. I've heard a lot of them say that they just don't have reps that are retained or reps that can show up to the phone jam. But it doesn't matter whether you have reps or not. I encourage you guys to show up and, if anything, support your division. We've had many people like Ryan Borden. She was an assistant manager for the West LA office, now a branch manager, which is super exciting. And she actually would go to the phone jam and would, like, anytime she saw a rep, just whether they were in her office or not, she would pull them into a breakout room, and she'd give a quick PC with them in order to help them improve on their phoning skills. In fact, Callie Lott from Bay Area, she had a rep who on her first weekend was already feeling like the job wasn't for her, didn't think she'd sell anything, and was thinking of quitting. She had one PC with Ryan, and Ryan kind of like boosted her confidence, gave her some tips on how to improve her phoning, and that rep ended up hitting her first promotion because of that phone call, and ended up moving on to, like, was with us for a month longer, simply because like Ryan was there, showed up, and supported the region. Another thing I've seen many managers say is that they have prior commitments. We're not asking you guys to go to every single phone jam. If anything, we're asking you to go to 1 or 2 phone jams. How can you tell your reps to show up to the phone jams if you're not going to make the effort to show up yourself? And I highly encourage you guys to come to the phone jams and do your own work, whether it's texting social media, whether it's following up on social media calls, or calling PRs. I know that South Coast has a plan for the summer. Just a little secret that they're going to be using the phone time to schedule PRs for interviews, and they're going to tell their reps like that's their version of setting up demos and making calls. So that way, like, their reps see that they're working, and the reps are going to make calls themselves as well. And I highly encourage doing what I've been doing with a couple friends from the region. I've got Brento from South Coast, Jason from Oregon, and Brad Ramos, who's a new branch manager from Southland. All 4 of us have a plan for the summer, and we've been pretty consistent about it, where we will bring our reps onto the phone jam every Sunday. We have PCs with them, kind of like go over how their week went and get them ready to go, get them ready for the next week that's to come. And then for the last hour from 7 to 8, we're in our own little breakout room, kind of going over how our past stats went and how we can improve. And we give talks. I'm actually going to be running our next talk this coming Sunday, but we give talks on how what we can do to improve in the business. And this has actually helped Brento. If you guys see the stats, Brento last week was I believe 8 showed training, 8 set for training, 0 shows, 0 launch, something like that. And this week he's now because he got tips from Jason Guerrero. This week he had 26 set for training and had 10 show, which is a grand improvement compared to his numbers before. And again, I feel that like doing all these things will help not only your offices, but help with the phone jam culture thrive a lot more. So that's all I got, Marianne.
Thanks, Dave. So there's just a lot of opportunities when it comes to the phone jam program, And the cool thing is that it doesn't have to be limited to like what we do. We are happy to implement whatever ideas you guys have. If you have another vision of how you want to utilize the Phone Jam program into your office, we have a staff that can help you create that and collaborate with you, right? And another cool thing is when it comes to the impact you'll have participating in the Phone Jams, it won't just be for your office or your division. It actually can be regional too, and like, give me a thumbs up if you think it'd be kind of cool to to impact like a regional program, right? So absolutely. And that's what we have. That's the opportunity that we have for you guys. Now, some of you might be discouraged if you don't have the stats right now, whether it's you don't have reps, you don't have AMs, you don't, things of that sort. And, I get you. What's exciting is that this campaign can change everything for you if you just capitalize on it. So we are calling it we're going to initiate Operation CAT, and it's connection, accountability, and training. This donation campaign will implement this formula because you'll be able to connect with reps as well as other DMs. You'll be able to keep the reps accountable for not showing up. And you can also use Phone Jams to do training, right? I told Hawaii last time, since their time difference isn't compatible with making phone calls on our Phone Jams. I told them, well, what you could do is you could do PCs. Once you do your own Phone Jam, it ends at 9. You can hang out with the reps, or you could do PCs and you can check on their demos. You could do a little mini training session at that time frame. And what's nice is that once they hop in or once they hop out, they'll see an entire region working hard. So that already creates culture, right? So it's, again, not about doing more things. It's not about making you guys add another thing to your to-do list. It's about creating culture, which we cannot have when you're not present, right? So with the project that we have going on, this is going until the end of May. We spend, probably, as you guys are DMs, you probably spend 80 to 90% on sourcing, recruiting, and training. But the Phone Jam program is a program of retention. So I ask you again another question: what is your program of retention? What is your workflow? What is your system? How can Phone Jams help you enhance that? Because the long-term vision of Phone Jams, it's not to be an optional resource where you just dump your reps, but we want it to be a program driven by the DMs and their staff, where you are able to utilize it to push reps to action in the moment, instead of saying like, hey, what's your goal today? Okay, you want to set up 5 demos? Cool. Give me a call back, or let me know once you set them, right? Instead of that, you could just hop on a Phone Jam with them and watch them. And you can see from the video if they're even following the script, which is what happened with one of the reps with Ryan and Callie's reps. So these are what I'm showing you right now is actually our donation goal for the project Angel Wings, and the money that you guys pitch in for the Phone Jam is going towards donations now. So we're not doing prizes at the moment. Yeah, I agree, Henry. It's a big problem when they're not following the phone scripts. Right, and I think Day, you touched on Ryan's story, right? So again, it's one of those things you can easily see when you watch your reps do phone calls. And so back to the goals, all the money is going to donations. So what's exciting is that we finally hit our minimum goal of 1,000. We have a week left, so we're trying to shoot for 1,500 in donations. And the money's coming from, we got a free $300 budget from the region, but the money's also coming from staff pay. So half of the staff is donating either all their pay or half of their pay to, offset the costs. And we also have certain weekly standards that as my Phone Jam staff, we're gunning for. So I want to show you guys some resources on what you can utilize to get the numbers you want to get for Phone Jams. And let's see here. We have a Google folder, and Day's going to drop this in the chat for me, called bit.ly/WRDMPjam. And what this is, it's a drive that's going to help with all the things that you need. So if you need flyers, all the flyers are here. Like all the updated flyers are here. All the past flyers are here. We have scripts. We have a tracker. In fact, if you're ever wondering how do I promote this Angel Wings program, we've already written out the script for you, as well as other promotion lines right over here. And then the biggest thing is the tracker. So the tracker, to me, is the best resource for PDI and accountability. So I'll show you how you can utilize it. So this is today's tracker. Let's go to 517. And the columns that pertain the most to you is obviously seeing if your reps showed, and then you'll be able to see in column K how many demos they set. So let me do that so it's easier for you to see. And let's see, when it comes to your guys' division, there's also stats right here too. When it comes to your guys' division, let me break it down for you. All right, boom. So you had 4 reps registered, 4 demos set, and 4 reps registered, 4 show, and 15 demos set. So for me, if I was a DM in NorCal, I would pretty much just look for my rep. Let's go to a NorCal one. And I would check if, here we go. Let's do, who has their goals here? Oh, he didn't add it. Okay. We usually have a goals, we're going to add it again, but we usually have a goals column. We ask them how many goals they set or they want to set for the phone jam. So we'll add that back. But yeah, I could call them and be like, hey, Daniel, great job hopping in the phone jam. I saw that you set 8 demos and you're pretty much the #1 leader in the entire phone jam. And then you just build from there. Like, you know, how much more do you want to go for? Like, imagine if you set 2 more, then you'll be at 10, that type of thing. So all this stuff is accessible to you guys every single week. And it can help keep your reps even more accountable, or at least drive them to do more. So that's what's exciting about that. Do you guys have any questions about the tracker or anything like that before I wrap up? Okay, think about it. Let me know. Either unmute or just put it in the chat later on. Okay, so I have a couple of action steps for you guys. And I'm going to follow up later on, if it's cool with Jameson, whether in a week or 2, I can come back and just do like 10-minute survey and just follow up where you guys are at. And the tips that we have for you guys is 1, decide what your phone jam culture will be. 2, have you or your staff attend at least 1 phone jam a week and bring reps at least 3 to 5 each time you attend. And you don't have to stay for the whole time, right? Like Brad, our SLD division manager, he comes twice a week. And he just hops on for like 10 minutes and he gives shout outs. He pretty much launches the fast starters into our phone jams on day 2. So they do their first calls actually on phone jams. And he gives certain shout outs and then he bounces. So it's a 10-minute impact call that you guys can do. And then these are the areas I would mention phone jam, because reps need to hear phone jams multiple times, at least 5 times, for it to really get to their head, where they're not just thinking about going, but they're deciding to go. And I know that from personal experience because I was a flyer. When I first heard about the job, I saw the advertisement flyer 5 times in a day. The first 3 times I just thought about calling. It was only the last time where I decided I should probably call, because I've seen this so many times. So promote it during interviews, training, PCs, PDI, and have reps follow us at join_phone jams on Instagram. That way they can see it even more often. So to wrap up, right, this idea about phone jams integrating with a donation campaign actually came from a representative. Right, more so in AM, Jennifer Martinez in Han's office. She had this idea, and what I thought was exciting is that she opened a new portal of what phone jam possibilities could be. She didn't know how to execute it, So even though at some point I was being complacent about the program, just honestly speaking, because it wasn't growing, so it wasn't exciting me anymore. And she was the one who challenged me to do it differently. And that ended up me just launching and creating this with my team. And that shows me this one quote, that management is about persuading people to do things they do not want to do, while leadership is about inspiring people to do things they never thought they could. And so I ask you guys, what is it that your team needs from you as a leader? And how can we as a Phone Jam crew help you guys get there? Thanks. So that's what I've got, guys, and I'm just open it for Q&A if you guys have any questions.
That's great. Hey, thank you for sharing very much. And I just had a quick question. It's every demo that's booked, $5 gets donated. Is that how that
Yes.
works?
Mm-hmm.
And that's coming from essentially the regional pitch-in, right? Like where everybody's getting charged regularly.
Yes, that and staff pay, because we're kind of coming to a point where it's like we're already using the budget of the region, because we're at like 1,050, I think, you know. So it's staff pay as well as region pay, which all comes from you guys essentially.
Right. Yeah. So in a situation where like, right now, I know that recruiting has not really been like explosive, but I would imagine in the next 2 to 3 weeks, it's going to be a lot easier to drive attendance to these things. Is this program going to continue through the summer?
The Project Wings one, no, we're gonna end it at May.
Okay.
At the end of May, but I am already thinking about what to do afterwards. So it's still something I'm working on, but I'm open to like suggestions of how you guys want to run it. Like if we want to just use another donation, another campaign. I personally don't know if prizes is gonna cut it, just because if prizes really was a big impact, the attendance would be different.
Yeah. What kind of prizes have you guys done in the past?
We did everything. We tried to just do money, right? We did $20 raffles every 30 minutes back in like earlier this year when it was already a regional program. We did free Cutco every 30 minutes, and then we, as the attendance went down, obviously we lessened the amount of times that we raffled that stuff off. We've also done just like random free stuff like Cutco swag. We've done that before too.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, we back in 2020, I feel like we had really good attendance to our phone jams, and can you guys remember the details? I know like Henry Goose, Josh, it was if you book 2 demos, you get in a drawing,
mm-hmm.
and then we did one drawing every week I would do a divisional video, and it was like one drawing every week, and one person would have to win a $150 item of their choosing, not Cutco. And it had to be a thing, right? Like it couldn't be a gift card, it couldn't be anything. I don't know, that helped out a lot a couple of years ago. I don't know if that's an idea that could help out, but
Yeah. No, I think you're right when it comes to like changing the raffle prizes. Like we're definitely open to that. We can utilize that thing. But I think there's even more to it too, because I've been brainstorming about this for, pretty much the whole year. I think it has to do a little bit more with connection, accountability, and training. Just because like I know that it's different because it's virtual, but back then when we were doing phone jams, there was no prizes. But we really drove the attendance. But those three things were there. Where now it is a little bit harder to like get that same connection with reps virtually versus like in person. So
yeah.
that's why we thought maybe if we focus more on those aspects, connection, accountability, and training, and we add raffles on top of it, that's where we get both. But I know just changing the raffle prizes, in my personal opinion, from just how I've been observing this program, it makes a difference, but it doesn't make a long lasting difference because we've changed the prizes so many times.
Is there any like, so oftentimes, right, like when I'm thinking about a function, right, usually the question that reps will have is like, what's in it for me? And there will be like some people that are motivated by the financial gain or the prize or whatever, right? but I think that there's another element of like how is this worth my time doing this versus just doing it on my own,
Right.
right? Is there a way, I don't know if we're able to like interview a top rep every week at the Thursday phone jam or
Actually, yeah, I agree with you. I think that's a great idea. I think I'm gonna do one step further, and I was already planning on doing a rep survey. So now that I've like have a little bit of a connection with every division, because I'm doing meetings with every division now. I'm gonna ask them like, hey, can you do this like 5 minute survey with all your reps during team meeting, so we can collect actual data of where the reps heads are at, you know? And I wouldn't be surprised if it's like a similar mentality to why some DMs don't show to phone jams either, because I know I got feedback from like a few DMs, and he said that too, where he was like, I don't, I understand the value, but like we've been doing okay without the phone jams before. So it's like he had that same mentality, with like how reps probably think of like, why should I do when I don't hop on? So
right.
I don't
I don't
know.
know. Like I recall Goose and Henry, like almost, and Josh even like doing like a little message before the team meeting. There was like some content that they wanted that they were getting before these things kicked off.
Yeah, I'm down for that too. Like I said, there's so many things that could be done with the phone jam. Like we did workshops before too. We did 30-minute workshops. We did role play training. So as a phone jam crew, we've done so many things, but I think it's like not us that needs to make the bigger connection. The connection has to come from the DMs and the reps, because we would do we called it role play battles, where either the reps would watch us do a role play battle, and they can see us doing the role play of like how we handle objections, or we had the reps compete like, hey, who's going to be the best to handle this phone objection. We did that every week. So
Right.
I'm open to like having DMs hop on and give like mini talks. We could do contests. We can even do like, I don't know, we could do games. Like it could just be a bonding thing the first 30 minutes. So there's like that connection and that culture there, and then launch into phone jams. Wherever you guys want to take it, we're open to try it.
Can I ask the DMs a question really quick? And you guys can either comment on the chat or just like raise your hand or, just say it out loud. When do you train your reps on how to call non nameless
I
referrals?
I just started doing it for the first time in like a year, and now I'm doing it. We launched Wednesday. I'm doing it Monday.
Yeah, advanced training too. So the paycheck meeting.
Okay.
Same. Tuesdays.
So, I mean, is it safe to say that there's probably a lot of our reps that don't even know how to call?
Well, I wouldn't say that right now because we don't, not in a negative way, we just don't have a lot of reps. So I feel like probably all the reps that we do have know how to, but.
Yeah, Marianne, when you see people come into the phone jam,
Majority of them are not reading a script.
they're not following any sort of script, right?
Well,
No,
the
majority of them
are
are not.
from our division,
No.
though, right?
Like, yeah, like 80, if not 90%. They're like looking up, looking to the side, they're looking all over the place. Like, and I'm just like, most of them are fast starters too. So that's why we're just like, yeah, they're not on a script.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm down to even test them. Like, to me, if I had an office, or actually back then when I had an office, we did role play like so often, like every week. And then I would challenge them to like, hey, what would you say to this objection? I would say that out of nowhere, and then I would see where they're at. So I don't know. I thought about that. Like maybe on phone jams we could launch a contest where it's just like, hey, the best rep that answers this wins like $20 type of thing. The best person that can say the recommendation approach without reading it and their eyes are closed wins $20. Same thing for like phone approaches. Of the rep who can say the phone approach while closing their eyes gets $20, something like that.
Right.
Yeah, WR phone gem's still a thing. That's how they oh, is it not working? That's how they register to phone jam. Let me see, today's Thursday. Yeah, it should already be up. I'll look into it. We
No,
use
it's working again.
Oh, it's working. Okay, cool.
It's not working on my end.
WRphonejam.com. I'm gonna look at it right now. Yeah, cause I have like an admin staff, WR phone jam, and they have to do some. They have to like close the form and then reopen it again each time. Oh, okay. It works. Um, yeah, maybe it's internet, maybe the browser.
No, it's working now. It
Okay,
just didn't
cool.
work when I typed in wrphonejam.com.
Okay,
That
maybe he
didn't
just
pull it up.
opened it now too. Ted might have
I
just been.
found I found that sending it to reps, I put capital letter for W, R, P, and J, and that works. Sometimes when they put it all lowercase, it doesn't work for whatever reason.
Really?
Yeah, it's weird. And like I've been testing it with Ted too. Marianne, for us, when we type it in, like it auto fills, and that's because it knows the history, which is why
Oh.
Ted and I we use incognito that doesn't have history in order to test it.
Okay, cool. I mean, they're my tech guys. I have a technically a admin tech team, so they know
Can I
better
make
than
a
I do.
request for that page?
What do you mean? Requests for which page exactly?
For the WR phone jam? How it asks if they're in their fast start, if they're in their first weekend or second
Yeah.
weekend.
Yeah, we have that. I gotta tell Ted to add goals though. I told him to add goals again. We took it off we take it off temporarily when we have region phone jams, but
No,
yeah, there's a
my-
column for if they're in their fast start. Here, I'll show you guys.
Now the
So,
request was instead of having it say first weekend or second weekend, being able to ask what day they're in,
oh, what day they're in their
or
fast
something or something a little bit different, because I would imagine that not everybody's in a weekend for their fast start, because there's days in between. Does that make sense? I'm just
So you want to
thinking.
know?
I've just had people. That one and the Venmo one
Mhm.
are always the big questions that people ask me about. Like, it's Thursday. It's not a weekend.
Oh, okay. So
And
we
I
can
have to
change.
put in my
Okay.
Venmo, which the Venmo one's gone because the prizes are gone.
Yeah. We could change that question. What day? Okay. Sure.
But it's
With your
just,
fast
I
start.
mean, and I don't know. There might be a better way to word it, but all the all the questions I've gotten about it have been those two.
Okay. Maybe should I just change the answers because it says if you're in your fast start, which week are you on instead of first week and second weekend? We could just put first week, second week, or should we do?
Or
Yeah.
or what day are you on? I don't
Okay.
know.
Okay.
It might be.
Yeah.
It might take a representative lots of time to figure out what day they're in.
Yeah, that's what I was
Yeah.
saying. Like,
And
but it's
so,
easier for them to know like if they're in their first week or second week, right?
yeah.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, we'll change that. First week, second week. Got it. Okay. That's a good suggestion. Anyone else have certain suggestions or questions? No.
How do you guys communicate with the changes for the prizes and to Angel Wings and things like that? Can I get on an email list or something?
No, you just hop
Look
on.
up
You
page?
just hop on if you have any ideas. I run bi-weekly staff meetings. So we just decide what we're gonna do for phone jams.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
I just don't want to tell reps that there's prizes. Without knowing if there's prizes. That's kind of my thought.
Oh,
And
okay.
the goal here is to generate reps attendance for the phone jams, right?
Yeah.
And if I tell reps that we're donating to Angel Wings through the end of May, but then I don't know what we're donating to for June or if there's prizes.
Yeah, I guess
Just
we're
takes away
still
the what's in it for them part.
we're still working. I think we're still working on what we're gonna do for June. But Jameson, how do you pass out the flyers, by the way? The flyers that text you?
Usually via text or group me.
Okay.
I'll be real with you. I haven't the last couple weeks. It's
Oh, that's
just
probably why.
yeah.
So I mean, I'm glad you said that, just so we know and we can figure it out. So what I do is I create the flyers and I text it to every DVM. And they were supposed to send it to you guys. I don't know how the communication works, but if you want to add me to your group me and then I could just text it there directly, that's how you know when things change. Like
Yeah,
when
I
I make
just
a
added you
flyer.
right now.
Okay. Answer. So yeah, so you'll know through the flyers if there's a raffle, if we're doing another cause or anything like that. But I think tonight, like after, like at 8:30, I have a staff meeting, and then it's bi-weekly after that. So tonight or next week, you're welcome to like hop on, which is we do it on the phone jam, the regular phone jam Zoom. And we
Okay.
can talk. To first specific. Okay. All right. So okay. Anything else, guys? I'm gonna make those changes.
I have an idea.
Yeah, go for it.
Has anyone done like a live role play with a top rep or manager actually making calls with us? Having everyone sit there and hear it, like field training almost.
Yeah, and we're happy to do it again. Yeah, we did that. I mean, also you kind of, from our perspective too, it's kind of hard to like do that stuff. We still did it, but it was kind of hard to do that stuff with only like 3 to 5 reps. So when we were doing that, it literally would be like 3 to 5 reps, half of their cameras are turned off. You know, stuff like that. But we're open to doing that again. Like especially in the summer, I know it'll be different. So we could do a role play with the top reps. We just need the reps to hop on. You know, we need to figure out like if we could just send them here, that would be awesome. Instead of us trying to like figure out who we can get, it'll just be a lot easier for us. So do you want one of your reps to do like a role play in front of everyone? Aaron?
I don't have any reps yet, so
Okay.
eventually, yeah.
Okay, cool. Michael, you have something to say?
Oh, I was just saying he has one.
Yes. Yeah, let's get that one to be the top rep and then have them featured on the Region Phone Jam. You know, just that's pretty hype already as it is. That's marketable to be promoted in front of a Region Phone Jam.
Hey, I got another crazy idea, and
Go
this
for
might
it,
be an
Joshua.
idea for a staff meeting, but there's just like zero chance I'm going to join tonight. Could you guys make, because you guys do a great job of hyping it up and making the DJ stuff and the music and the vibe for the phone jams. I like it a lot, and I'd love to be able to share it with people, especially in training or advanced training or a team meeting, wherever it is. Like if you guys had a, I don't know, 1 minute, 30 second, 3 minute, 5 minute version of this is what a phone jam's like, this is what to expect when you get there. I would be more than happy to play that for my representatives to share with them what it's going to be like, because I think the biggest barrier that I run across is people just don't know what to expect, and it's hard to describe with words how I don't know, motivational it is. So
Yeah, that would be cool. Just like a promotional or a commercial that we can put literally on every team meeting slide and every training slide.
Okay.
Not
So-
everyone, but everybody plays it at least once in training, and everybody plays it at each function.
Yeah, I think we can create one. Let's see if we can get NJ. We will record a snippet of it today, and then I'll have someone edit it. So then it could be like a phone jam promo video. Yeah, and if you can play that for every training, every team meeting and stuff, we can make that work. All right, so I'll add that to my to-do list too. All right, cool. That's a good idea. I like that. Well, there's stuff in the chat. Let me see. Okay. So if you guys like seeing the idea of someone actually handle objections in real time, would you guys as DMs, or can you send some of your reps to whatever phone jam they can go to do that? Is anyone down for that? Send CSPs. That's for sure something we could do too. We get
Is that
CSPs.
Daniel Villamazar from Fresno?
I like when I saw it on the stats, I'm just like, wait, like I was in my meeting, I was like, wait, let me go back and check. I looked at Daniel, and turns out it wasn't Daniel Villamazar, and I lost his number, so I wasn't able to reach out to him. But it looked like it was a new rep from the look of it.
Got it.
Nice. Rin volunteers as tribute.
Well,
Yes.
Lynn's the #1 branch, and he's kicking ass as a sales rep. That might be a really positive.
I'd love to see Daniel on the phone jam again.
Yeah.
All right, Rin, if you volunteer as tribute, text me so I have your number, and we'll put you on whatever phone jam you can hop on to do live objections. Yeah, that's probably something I'm going to do. It's going to take a lot of brain work to kind of figure it out. But I wanted to get the DMs more involved. Actually, back then in SLD, we had a calendar and we assigned a DM to every phone jam to host, to do hosting, to do promoting, just to be on there. And we took that off. I forgot why. And then, so I'm thinking like maybe we should do it again, but like doing it at a regional scale. So trying
Yeah.
to figure that out how I could.
Divisional ambassador.
Sorry.
We need a divisional ambassador for each division.
Yeah.
We need a hype man for each division.
I would want that because we do training too. Like we created a training program also, and that kind of died down a little bit also, where we like if you hop on 3 phone jams as like as part of like the phone jam crew behind the scenes, then you get like a certificate and you become this rank, you become like a was it online event intern. And then if you attend like 10 phone jams, you do these roles, you become an online event assistant. You can put that on your resume. We would send out certificates, but people weren't coming for training, so we kind of stopped doing that training program. But we can train people to run phone gyms behind the scenes too, and that's actually how I got my team, my current team right now, to run these phone jams. Is because when I was doing training, I was training them, and then they trained another group of leaders. So we need a new generation.
All right. All right, cool. Well, we do have to jump into some other stuff on the division call, but I really appreciate you guys jumping on and sharing all this info with us. And